will you support legislation that increases protections for those with student debt, including banning the practice of professionals losing their license due to defaulting on their student loans?
It really doesn't make much sense, does it? If you take someone's license away and he can't practice his profession, he'll make much less money and he'll pay less in taxes. He won't be able to pay a lot of other bills, including his loan. So that I would be very much against that, or in favor of not allowing it. And the reason is obvious.
Absolutely support any efforts to protect borrowers. We have so many students. I think the average is about $30,000. That's the debt load that students end up with. And I think 1 in 4 end up either defaulting on that or getting behind in their payments. So it's a common experience. And part of that is because of how much debt students have to take out. So I was a proud sponsor of Senate Bill 1351, which was the Student Loan Rights Servicing Act, to make sure that we protect students and borrowers, to make sure that from a consumer's protection standpoint that we're protected against abuse and fraud in that industry. But we also have to make sure that we do what we can to increase MAP grants and other opportunities so that students who need assistance to go to school don't have to take out loans. And that's one of the things that JB and I will be working on. The other thing that I just wanted to quickly mention is that when we think about what Bruce Rauner did in his manufactured budget crisis, and that crisis that did not have to happen, and even this year, when there was an opportunity, when we knew too many colleges and universities were on the verge of closing their doors, he still vetoed the budget. That's the person that we have in office right now, and a budget tells you where your priorities are. And when Governor Rauner decided to veto the budget, even though colleges and university presidents were saying, please, we need something to happen because we're losing students, and so this is the governor we have, someone who didn't care about MAP grants, who doesn't care about making sure students can go to school and afford to go to college. And then one more thing is we also have to expand opportunities for vocational education, because while I absolutely want every student who wants to go to college to be able to have that opportunity and have that access, there are some students that is not the best path for them, and we need to make sure we have vocational training and apprenticeships so that they can also have a path to a great career as well. Thank you.
There's a lot that we can do to make sure that folks can achieve a degree without being saddled for debt for the rest of their lives. One of the first things we can do is bring stability back to our colleges and universities. Again, under Bruce Rauner's failed leadership, we went 2 years without providing funding for higher education, and the first budget he proposed put forward a 35% cut for higher ed. But we can go further. We need to make sure that we protect folks who are looking to earn a living, and they should not have to sacrifice their license. We've talked to people who are in the accounting profession, who are social workers, who've had their license threatened because of their inability to pay on their student loan debt. That should not be the case in this country or in this state. One other thing we can do is go after bad actors. And I think the for-profit colleges, while they only account for 9% of undergraduates, they account for 35% of the student default rate. So we should look at yanking the accreditation of those institutions that operate in a predatory way. Thank you.
Senator Daniel Biss and I are a team of academics. Each of us hold doctoral degrees and have gone all the way, and we did it sometimes along the way with student loans. We absolutely must make sure that we put protections in place, not only to provide graduate assistantships, but graduate assistantships that don't just pay poverty wages. If anyone knows my story and they can find it, when I talk about the times I struggled most, it was in graduate school, and it was because I was making wages below poverty. So to protect students, Senator Biss introduced Senate Bill 1351 to create in Illinois a student loan bill of rights. And of course, I was a proud co-sponsor in the Illinois House on that legislation. It protects students from companies that want to harass. It protects students from companies that change terms without notifying students. It also has some protections for things as basic as when you need to send your payment in. They must notify you if they've changed their mailing address because we see that happen with some predatory lenders. They change their mailing address, you mail your payment, it doesn't make it in time, they say it was late, and there's opportunity for you to also be in trouble. I will continue to stand as I did in April of 2016 against this current governor. The Illinois Legislative Black Caucus and members of all caucuses in the House stood up to Bruce Rauner and said we would not let Chicago State, my alma mater, Western Illinois University, or Eastern Illinois universities close. He proposed 35% cuts. He said he would come back to the table once we funded those university systems in April of 2016. Yet, Governor Rauner never returned to the table and decimated higher education funding, cut it to the tune of over 60%. We will stand with you. Thank you.